do not slice this drive. Oh, no! And you know what? I've changed my grip as well there. Changed my grip and I've still sliced it. That's probably what a lot of you are saying out on the golf course when you're playing your rounds of golf. There's a reason why you are still slicing the golf ball. In today's lesson, I'm going to tell you it, I'm going to fix it. Let's get stuck in. Okay, so there's loads of videos out there talking about slices. We know that the club's going to be glancing across the golf ball. We know that the club face is going to be open to the path, so we need to close that club face. And one of the big things that we always get told is, right, get that grip a little bit stronger. If you've been here a little bit weak with your grip, we're going to make it stronger and that'll close the club face. Now, like I said just a minute ago, I would imagine there's people who've done that and are still slicing the golf ball, because what tends to happen as a slicer of the golf ball, you are training yourself to slice it. Sounds strange. You think, well, I've changed my grip. No, I'm trying to get rid of my slice. But what you tend to do, and I would imagine, and just if this is you, just hit that like button down below. I'm going to describe a scenario. We've got a fairway here now, we can see down there. We can identify where all the trees are on the right hand side. That is where my ball normally slices to, so I don't want to go there. First thing you do as a slicer, trees are this way, middle of the fairway's here. I'm going to aim over this way, so I end up look like I'm pointing off the tee. I've changed my grip now, and as I go through, I'm going to hit this shot. Oh, it's got a little bit of slice on it, and it's worked back towards the fairway. I've just hit the left edge of the fairway there. Now, what I've done when I've aimed down that way, and I'm then trying to get the ball to curve back towards my target from left to right as a right-handed golfer, I'm still holding the club face, so I never release it. Even if I make my grip stronger, if I've had a neutral grip or a slightly weak grip, and I make my grip stronger here so it closes the club face, what I end up doing when I aim off this way, as I come through, I learn again to hold the face even more so than when I was an actual normal slicer where I was still aiming left. All I did the whole time was hold that club face through and make sure that because I'm aimed that far off to the left, it's looking somewhere near my target. So we need to do a couple of things if we're going to change this slice. Yes, a stronger grip would be ideal. We don't see as many people slicing it with a slightly stronger grip, but we've got to be able to change our mindset and also change how we're releasing the golf club. That is massive. Every golf swing needs a little bit of release. If we haven't got any, we're going to not get the flight we desire as we go through. So a couple of things that I want you to do. Let's just go through those. So the first thing is that release. Like I said, you've spent all your time as a slicer aiming left probably and learning to hold the club face. So as you go through, as we look at the arms in one of the golf swings here, what we would see is that my trail forearm, so my right forearm, as I would come through as a slicer, learns to do this, and we see that sort of chicken-like wing approach as we go through, and then at the end I would flip it and try and save the shot, but at that point it's too late. The big bit is though that this right arm is staying under and we never see it actually turning over, and as you can do that if we just focus on the face, we see that that toe of the club is hanging back behind the heel as I'm going through. So what I've got to learn to do, and I'm not just going to stand here and flip my wrists at it, I've got to imagine now as I'm going through, I've got to try and make my forearms match. So as I'm making a golf swing, I've made my grip ever so slightly stronger maybe, but what I don't want to do is hold it. I want them to match. So as I get to this point here now, that looks quite natural and quite neutral. It doesn't look too excessive in one of the other ways. So really slowly, I just want you to have some swings where you're learning, just as you're going through the swing here, to trust and let that face roll over. And if we've got that slightly better grip, all that's going to be happening is that this face would now stay square to my arc, and that's the big part. I want it to stay square to my arc. I'm not rolling it massively shut. I'm just letting the club stay square to the arc. What I don't want to do, like I do as a slicer, is try and hold the face square to the target throughout the entirety of the golf swing. The golf swing's circular, and I've got to let a little bit of rotation happen here and start to let this happen to let me see that I'm squaring up the face, because then when I get used to this, I take my better grip and I feel that I'm going to let it release a little bit, and I might hit it a little bit left. It's not the end of the world if I do. It'd be a good sign if I've been a slicer. And there, that one has gone a little bit left. It's got a bit of draw on it as I see it, and it's down the left hand side of the fairway. But the great news, guys, is that I've actually closed my club face for once. I've not stood and I've not held it and made sure that that slice is still in play. I've actually taught myself and trained myself to now let the face go a little bit. If we want to get rid of the slice, we've got to ease off a little bit and we've got to let that face go. The next thing that we've got to do, if I've just hit that shot there with that beautiful little draw on it, I've now got to change my concept of aim. I've spent 3 years slicing it, and for 3 years I've looked at the left hand side of every single fairway and held that face. What I'm now going to do, as I look at the fairway, I'm going to start to trust myself. I'm going to aim just slightly off the right hand side of the middle of the fairway. So as I now come in, I'm going to move it right to left this time. I'm going to get rid of that horrible slice. I'm going to see a bit of draw because I can now release the club, and I'm changing the concept. So I've got the feeling of actually letting the face release, and now I've changed to where I'm aiming. Instead of aiming 50 yards left, I'm actually aiming just 10 yards right of centre, and here with a nice little draw swing, we can see that one's pretty straight. I'm going to give it one more go. I needed a little bit more draw on there. I needed to trust that I was going to release it. Had my feeling of my slice swing in there still slightly. I've got to get that feeling of release. I've aimed down just off the centre, and as we go through, if I can trust my new concept, we can see now a nice little draw as we go through, and it's just working back towards the middle of the fairway there. So 2 things that you need to do to stop your slice. You could have watched loads of videos, but if you're still stood aiming down that left hand side of the fairway, trying to bring it back, not going to work. And if you're holding that club face down towards the middle all the time, not going to work. Get a little bit of release in your golf swing, and also start to trust yourself. Change the concept, try and see a little bit of draw, aim for a little bit of draw, and then we've got a better chance of actually starting to get rid of that slice. Don't just change your grip and do what you always do and aim left and hold it. It's not going to work, it'll always be there. So guys, 2 simple things you need to do to get rid of that slice. Give them a go, and we should see that that slice actually starts to disappear. Thanks for watching this lesson. I'll see you in the next one.